Okay, so this looks like it could be really cool, and it's a I can't pronounce it. ATLi EON TimeLapse Camera starter kit. So this is a starter kit, and this is a, as you can see, a time lapse camera. That's all it does. Time lapse camera. Now I think this is kind of a I think it's a pre-release version of this. So I'll put links down below to the website so you guys can learn a little bit more about it. But anyways, let's crack open the box, and then we'll go give it a try. I gotta make sure. I think I want to make sure that we have good weather for this. It's been really rainy the last week, so which is good because our grass and everything has just gone brown. So it's nice to see some rain. But I want to make sure the weather's good so I can set this up. All right, let's do that. Okay, so here's the box. Here's the box. I'm pretty excited. I have this camera on here. Actually, we'll keep that going right now, and we'll just open this up. Get ready to lapse through time. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to lapse through time. So that really is the box, right? And this other box that came with it, just kind of a brown box. Time-lapse camera, manual focus. Okay, I'm with you. What else do we have on here? Not much there. Oh, here we go. So ATLi live preview. Okay, flexible schedule, 7cm macro, time slice, 1080p HD video, power saving mode, and a 1.4 shutter speed. Download the app on Android or on the App Store. So very cool. So it does look like we're going to have to download an app for this, which is to be expected. All right, let's open the box. I think it feels cool. Time lapses are really neat, and there's a lot of people that really love time lapse. Oh, that's cool. It's cool. Okay, so let's go through this just one piece at a time. So you are gonna get a little. That's in there snug. I'm gonna give you that. Okay, a little tripod, but as far as a little tripod goes, that's okay. And it's got some decent steadiness. Some of them are really they're really flimsy, but that's not flimsy. That's okay. You guys can possibly just see that there. There it is, right there. You can set your camera up. You get a little head on there, which is a little ball head. It's good. Does the trick. Everything's fairly sturdy. Nice. You do get your USB-A to USB-C cable, and it's a decent length. Again, you guys can see that there. This looks like it should be very well useful, I guess. This is the camera. How interesting. So it is pretty plasticky feeling, and no screen or anything like that. And I'm guessing maybe because it's a time lapse, they're trying to make sure it doesn't have any additional lights. Does it come with a memory card? There's something in there. So yeah, this one here came with a 16 gig card. Cool. And there's your tripod, right? Tripod hole right there. Your USB-C. And I'm not 100% sure what that is. I'm sure I'll figure that out as I go. Right, but there it is there. You guys again. That's it. You know? How interesting a little camera. It's like it's a little action camera, but with this really big lens on it. And there's that, you guys may be able to see it, there's that like manual focus, right? You see that right there? You can switch that around. Does it have hard stops? Yep, so hard stops right to the edge. And it has there's a spot, maybe just right in the middle, right? So you can, it goes that way. There's I thought I felt one. Right, no, yep, right there. It's kind of right in the middle, and then no, it's close to the end actually. It's right there, and then all the way. Okay, that's interesting. And then what is this? What is this? A UV filter. Okay, so you get a UV filter. You can see that there, right? See if I can get where am I? Here I go. Yeah, a little reflection. UV filter. Again, that's it with a little cap on it. It's rubber. And I'm guessing this, all you do is you would just snug that on that, right? Just kind of put that on there like so. Now, show up at a wedding with this and be like, all right, I'm ready to take your picture. It does have a little sticky on it, so make sure you pull that off. And it kind of folds down, you know. All right, that's cool. That's cool. And then, what else do you get? And then you get, what is this? Oh, so you get a little rubber protector for the whole thing. Oh, I like this. This comes off. This somehow does this do you just stretch it over? You must just somehow stretch this, I guess. Doesn't seem any other way. You must just stick that in there. Just pull the rubber out. Pull the rubber out, I guess. I'm doing it. I'm gonna end up ripping it. I know it. Okay, it's happening. It's getting over there. It's getting on there. Sort of. It's sort of getting on there. And I'm guessing this is my guess is that this will just give it a better seal when you and I, if we're using it out in the elements, right? So those are gonna stay open, and that's gonna be on top of the button, because that's gonna, I would think that's gonna seal it really good. You know, that seals around the lens decently, and these all close. The only thing open would be your tripod hole, which is not a big thing. And then you can take this and this, you just get it on there over top of the rubber area there, and it provides a seal as well. So now you have this. Look at that, hey? Isn't that's cool? Take away all that glossy. Make sure it's all on there good. Yeah, that's sweet. I like that. And then, I don't even know what this is. This was in there. What is that for? I don't know. Maybe, oh, I see. Maybe you put that in there, and then you have access. But then you have, maybe, I'm just trying to figure, because it's in, right? Because the rubber just gives it that, a lot of tripods may not be able to thread into that properly, so it's probably just an extender, so you can get that tripod hole out further. That's smart. You guys see that, right? That's smart, actually. I like that. Now it won't sit necessarily flat anymore, but you can just place it on its head. And then, is that it? I think so. I think that's it. And then last but not least, it says, okay, pull here. I'm down. I'm pulling there. Oh, the battery. So we have our battery. Oh, that was probably supposed to go in there before I put all the covers on. Yeah. And the manual, I guess. All right, there we go. Oh, we get some stickers too. That's cool, little stickers. All right, I'm gonna read this. I'm going to charge it, and then we'll try it out. All right, hold on. Okay, so I have now been using this probably for, oh, I'd say like 3 days, 3 or 4 days now, since we did the unboxing, and actually, it's pretty cool. Now, of course, before we get into some of the, I guess, positives, realize, and I went to their website, right? Realize that there are a few things that these guys, so it's ATLi time-lapse. If you buy this, you know, you're coming in around the $200 mark. You can see here. They have a 49mm natural light filter, and they do have an ND filter, which is kind of cool. So you'll see I have the UV filter on it, which is nice, and it's handy because I find, because there's no like cap or anything like that, the UV filter, if anything, is just going to help you kind of protect the element, right? So and help keep dust out and things like that. Do UV filters do a lot nowadays? I don't know. We can always white balance and all that kind of stuff afterwards. But the ND filter would be cool. You're looking at, they have 2 different models, of course. It's getting 4.6 stars, a standard and a dual battery. So depending if you want a second battery. For the extra, what is it, 20 bucks I think it is? Yeah, 20 bucks to get the second battery. If you're going to be doing some pretty long time lapse, I'd say that's actually really good. But a few things that I'd like. Number one, and this got me the first day, I actually went out and I shot 2 time lapses, about an hour each, just in different areas. I just wanted to play with it. I came back and there was nothing on the memory card. So the memory card, I put it into my computer, and it came up and asked if I'd like to initialize the card, and I was like, oh, it's not even initialized yet. So I initialized it as exFAT, and at that point it worked. But it would have been nice that if I had put the card in and opened up the app, that the app would kind of tell me, the card's not ready to go. Just so you know, the card's not ready to work. It didn't do that. So just make sure before you actually use the card that you put it into the computer and verify that it's ready and it's initialized. After that, everything worked good. The app itself seems to function great. It did everything that I needed it to do. We'll turn it on in a second. And of course, remember there is this spot here. So on this, if you take this rubber piece off, there's a little green, maybe you can see there's a little green mark, and that lines up with the power or the light indicator right there when it's on. So green matches green. And I believe they said that kind of gives you focus about like 5 feet in front of you. So, you know, it's a good, like, just a stopping mark to, if you're not quite sure where you want to hit focus. If you kind of want that action cam-y style focus realm, that's kind of where you set it. I did a few, of course. It is nice that it gives you like these little arrows. So if you want infinite, it's all the way there. If you want to go to macro, it's kind of all the way this way, right? I didn't do any macro. I don't really have anything overly exciting around my area right now to do macro shots, but that helps, right? Battery life. I shot over the past couple days, haven't charged it. I'd say somewhere around 6 hours. I did a couple 1 hour shots. I did a half-hour shot. I did one that was 3 hours. Battery life is great. You should be able to shoot pretty much like a full day worth of time lapse, depending on, of course, your intervals and things like that. And still have battery. I was actually quite impressed with battery life. And again, probably the last thing that I'd like to see in a future version, I know the price would have to go up probably, but I would like to see a 4K because it is 1080. Startup time, it takes a little bit of time for startup. We can actually, I'll just tilt this down so maybe you guys can see the power light here, right? So I'll turn this on now and you'll see this go orange while we're talking, right? There it is. And if you count, just kind of let her go, you'll see how long that takes before it goes green. And it's not a quick startup by any means, so realize you kind of turn this on and then go get all your other stuff ready while it's booting up. But it's time-lapse, right? It's not something that you're like, oh my gosh, there's a moment that I got to capture it right now. Most of us that are doing time-lapse are presetting it so that we can kind of catch it as it goes. While that's going, here's the actual software, and I'll actually just turn it off and back on again so that it starts up normally. Oh, there it goes. It just turned green, so you guys could see it. But here's the app itself, right? It starts up. Basically, come in here. There was a firmware update that I had to do, so it did come up, ask for firmware, so make sure that your phone and your camera are somewhat close to each other. Click to connect. It produces its own Wi-Fi. It'll connect to it. And again, I probably shot about 5-6 hours of time-lapse on this already. Click to proceed. Yep, there you go. And I'll just show you this really quick. There it is, right? So if we tap on it, it does talk about that manual, how to manually focus. Yep, we're good to go. Battery life, what am I at for battery life? 63%. I don't know if you guys can see that at the top, 63%. And again, I've shot 5-6 hours on this battery, so that's excellent. This, of course, is where you're going to go to see all the stuff that's on here already. You get a couple little settings up there if you want. Down here, it does have, if you want your timestamp and watermark, your grid, power saving, how much space is left on the physical card. This is going to be your firmware, etc., etc. You can do time-lapse output. Do you want it to be video? Do you want it to be video and all the photo sequences? For me, I just wanted video. And you can schedule it so that you can be like, I'm going to put it out there, but I want it to shoot from, 4 p.m. till 8 p.m., etc., etc., right? And then for video, do you want it to split after X amount of minutes? Do you want to mute it? Do you not want to mute it? And your frame rate. So you can come in here and set your frame rates and things like that on it. So you know what? It's got all the settings that you kind of need, which is great. And the big thing for me when I was out shooting is that, if I hit the little where am I here? Hit the little record button, you can actually see, you'll see intervals. So I can set this right by default. It'll shoot every 4 seconds, but I can be like, you know what? I'm going to be shooting a lot longer of it. So let's say I'm like, no, let's go up to every 7 seconds. And then if I just leave it like this, I can start it and stop it. So I can stop it whenever I feel like it. Duration though, I can come in here and be like, actually, I want this to run for, X amount of hours, right? So I turn that on and I can say, run this for 3 hours. And at the bottom, you'll see it actually comes up and tells you, maybe you can see that, hopefully, your duration. So this would be a 1 minute and 1 second time lapse. And I'd be like, oh, that's too long. So let's come in here and crank that back up. Let's do it every 9 seconds. And you can see that it says 48. I'm like, no, 10 seconds, 43. I'm like, okay, perfect. That's what I want right there. And then I hit start and off it goes. So I do really like that. And again, when you come in here, you can see again all the clips that I've shot already in this last little while. And you guys have been seeing some of the time lapse that I've done, and I'll put some more up here at the end of the video so that you can see what it's like. Again, 1080, right? I would have loved to have seen a 4K, and I hope that they produce a 4K one because I think at that point it's really good. The biggest question, and my wife actually asked me this question, she's like, well, so why would you use this and not just use your phone? And I thought the big one, and for one, I don't think I could shoot time lapses for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours on my phone without killing the battery on the phone. 100%. Like the battery would, that would get. You'd have to have it in a power bank. You'd have to, that's one thing. You'd have to have it hooked into an external, right? For sure. Number two is that if I have my phone actually doing my time lapse for 5 hours, or even an hour, or even half an hour, I can't use my phone. So if there's text messages coming in, or if there's a phone call that comes in, or if there's, it doesn't matter. Right? I have to reply to email. I can't do any of that. The phone is tied up. It's doing a time lapse. So I think having a dedicated time lapse camera for those of us that like to do time lapses, pretty cool. And it's not a huge investment, coming in around the $200 US mark, So $20 for an extra battery. If you are going to be, let's say you're going to be going away for a weekend, right? And not having anything for charging, I'd get the extra battery for sure because, you can't charge it. But for those of us that are just going to take it out for the day to do some time lapses, one battery should be fine, I think. All right, guys, this is the ATLi EON TimeLapse Camera. I don't know if I've said that name properly in the past, probably not. ATLi EON. Very cool. I like it. All right, guys, links down below to their website. And I think we may have a coupon code for you guys down below if you're interested. Check it out, and we'll see you guys later. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the little notification bell. And that's it. Later, my friends.